Toby, what's the worst joke you can
What's
make
up?
right now?
Guess
That-
what?
Yeah.
Chicken butt. Do you want me to think of a proper one?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a really good one, okay?
Okay.
Okay, it's kind of long.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you guys both need to tune into this, okay?
Yeah.
So a man is driving along one day and he's driving past a monastery, right? You know what a monastery is?
Yeah.
And his car breaks down.
Uh-huh.
And so he's like, ah, shit, what am I gonna do? He goes up into the monastery and he knocks on the door and out comes a monk. And the guy says, I'm so sorry, my car's broken down. Am I able to stay the night here while I get it fixed? And they say, of course, my son, like, anything we can do to help. And they are incredible. They let him stay the night. They feed him. They even give him food, right? They even fix his car, is what I meant.
Uh-huh.
And so, and he's so amazed by this. But in the night, he hears this really strange noise that it makes him really curious. It's kind of out of this world, almost, right? And when he gets up in the morning, he goes to the monk and he says, "Thank you so much, but I have to know, what was that noise? Because what was that?" And the monk says, "I'm sorry, my son. You must be a monk if you want to know. So we can't tell you." And the guy he understands it. He understands it and he gets it and he's like, "Okay, I understand, but thank you so much." And he continues on his way. And then about 10 years later, he's driving past the monastery and his car breaks down again. And once again he goes up, he knocks on the door, and the same monk opens the door and he says, "What are the chances of this? I've broken down again. Is there any way you guys can help me out?" And they say, "Of course, my son, anything." And he goes in and they fix his car and he stays the night and he feeds him good. But once again, that night, he hears the same really strange noise and he's so curious. So in the morning, he gets up and he goes to the monk and he's like, "Okay, I've got to know, like, what was that noise?" And the monk says, "I'm so sorry, but you have to be a monk. I can't tell you." And so the guy says, "Okay, you know what? I'll do it. I'm so curious. I'll become a monk. How do I become a monk? Because I need to know." And the monk says, "Well, you must travel around the world and count every single grain of sand and come back and tell me how many there are. You also have to count every single blade of grass and tell me how many there are." So the man is amazed by this, but he goes off and he gives it a go. So he leaves and he travels the world, and it takes him 40 years. But 40 years later, he comes back to the monastery, finally, after all this time. And he goes to the monk and he says, I've done it. I've counted them all. Like, can I become a monk now?" And the monk says, "Of course. How many blades of grass are there?" And the guy says, 89 quintillion 762 billion 342 million 864,000. And the monk hands him a key. And so in he goes. He unlocks the door, opens it up, and behind that is another door. It's a stone door, and he goes to open it, and it's locked again. And so he goes to the monk. "Whoa, how do I open this one?" And he hands him another key. All about
making
patience.
this up on the spot.
No, fuck you. and he opens that up, and behind that is a metal door, and he goes to open it, and again it's locked.
You're
How do I get
making
into
this
this door? No. And the monk again hands him another key, and again he opens it up, a glass door. He opens it. He goes to open it. It's locked. He gets the key, unlock. Behind that is a crystal door. And this goes on for about 7 or 8 more doors until he finally gets to the final door. It's a sapphire door. And he goes to open it and he can't unlock it. And so he goes to the monk, "Well, how do I open this one?" And he hands him the last key. And he unlocks the door, opens it up, and it's just a black room. But he walks in. And then he hears the noise, and it's the most amazing noise he's ever heard. And he's so amazed for the rest of his life.
No way, that's
Is
fucking
there
hit.
more?
Well, What do you want me to say? I can't
That
tell you.
was-
You're not a monk.
That was a really even number of sand.
I can't tell
went
you.
from
You're not a monk.
quintillion to
Did you hear the?
billion.
Did you hear the
skipped
fucking?
quadrillion
Did you hear the?
and trillion?
Did
straight
you
to
hear the
billion.
fucking punchline or not?
That's surprisingly even.
Did you hear it or not?
I
I
choose not to
think-
hear it. I choose not
I
to
think
hear
I
it.
heard
I
it.
choose not
What
to
the
hear
fuck?
it. I choose
What the fuck?
That was a waste of 5 minutes,
not
man.
to
What
hear
the fuck?
it. I choose not to hear it.
You're not a monk. You're not a
That
monk.
is the worst joke ever.
That was so.
That is the worst